cloud computing? All you ever wanted to know, but were afraid to ask. One of the hottest buzzwords in IT media today is cloud computing. Even though so many professionals are talking about it, a rock-solid definition seems to be elusive. Let's agree that cloud computing is the use of an internet connection in order to utilize hardware, software, processing, or any combination of all three that the client neither owns nor maintains. Even before ARPANET laid the groundwork for the Internet, the idea that computing access could be offered as a utility service, much as electricity, was proposed by John McCarthy. Now, some 50 years later, with widespread high-speed Internet access, immense storage capability, and processing speeds to match, computing on demand is available in the cloud. Since Amazon released its first web services, many other companies have developed applications and services offered exclusively across the Internet, making cloud computing a reality today. As we know, all people seem to need data processing, and we benefit every day from cloud computing making that processing available in a variety of forms. Businesses can gain access to resources which they could never afford to capitalize by entering into pay-for-use contracts with cloud providers, thus enabling them to stay competitive globally by controlling IT expenses. Our quality of life at home improves as we discover easier ways to stay in touch with our friends and families. Not to mention that we can pick and choose precisely what our entertainment will be at any given time. The cloud houses the services we have come to rely on for all of these day-to-day essentials. Web services provide secure financial transactions, global sales opportunities, inventory management, and client communications. We have become nearly addicted to social networking sites like Twitter and Facebook. YouTube has become everything from homework tutor to viral video distributor. How many of us are lost without our smartphones? All of these services utilize cloud computing. But, and there is always a but, we should consider the two greatest weaknesses of cloud computing. As we upload our data lives into the cloud, we must measure the risk we are taking. There have been several major outages at cloud provider facilities already. Millions of users have been unable to access their data for hours at a time. There have been reports of unrecoverable data. So we must ask, is the cloud reliable? The real question is the cloud any less reliable than a piece of hardware sitting in my facility or in my home? The second concern, and maybe the more important, is how secure is my data out in the cloud? Who has visibility into my data? What protection is there against attack? Valid questions which must be answered. As with any service, the vendor must be proven trustworthy. Competition among the providers will allow the best of them to rise above the crowd. The old adage is just as applicable today. Let the buyer beware. On a final note, I pose one more question. Is it all hype? Is cloud computing a marketing gimmick? I dislike broad strokes, so let me look at it another way. What are our demands or expectations of cloud computing? We want to access and manipulate our files from anywhere we are at any time we choose. We want to share files with whomever. We want it to cost as little as possible. We don't want to be distracted or feel used by any of our providers' efforts to generate revenue. Realistic? Perhaps not. We will experience disconnects. We will have to deal with corrupted files. We will have to pay for quality. We will even have to defend against loss and attack, much as we do now. So when will cloud computing be fully arrived? I think it's here. When will it be replaced by the next best way to handle data? In the fullness of time.